Welcome back in. A Lexington man says he was a college classmate of Vice President Kamala Harris. It was in the early 80s at Howard University.
He tells us he's humbled to know that he inspired Harris to get into politics when she helped him win a student council election. WKYT's Jessica Umbro has that story new at 6.
Isn't that something?
Jim Coleman looks through digitized VHS footage of his wedding to bride Kathy Clash Coleman.
This is the day of June 2nd, 1984.
This reception, held on Howard University's campus in Washington, D.C., had an unexpected guest.
We've got this guest getting ready to come out, and Kathleen saw her and said, "Why is she here?" And I'm thinking, who are you talking about? She said, her, Kamala. And there's Kamala, my dear friend.
A young 20-something Kamala Harris showed up to support the newlyweds.
Kathleen said, "I didn't even invite her. She's crashing the party. I can't believe she's here."
But it was all in love. Harris was Kathy's sorority sister, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated.
Future Vice President of the United States right there dancing with my father and having a good time.
Prior to the wedding, Harris met Coleman during a campaign speech. He was running for student council president. Coleman needed help getting his message out to the all-women's dorm, a place he couldn't enter. Coleman says a curly-haired young lady volunteered and passed out 50 of these flyers.
And I said, "Well, what's your name?" She said, "Kamala." And she laughed again. And she helped me to hand all these flyers out and participated, knocked on doors for me. And I won by 16 votes. And what she did going forward, she's just always been serious. And I think she's always wanted to be president of the United States.
And when Coleman heard the news that President Biden endorsed his friend to be the next president,
I said, that is incredible.
Coleman has a message for young people.
They need to not wait for the invite. They need to get moving. Crash the party if you have to, like she's doing right now. She's crashing the party.
In Lexington, Jessica Umbro, WKYT.
Never know where crashing a party might lead you. And on a political side note, Coleman is a registered Republican. He says just because he knows Harris, that doesn't necessarily mean he will vote for her. He is keeping his presidential selection private.